All right, this your brother Issachar coming at you with another lesson. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstones to learn his truth from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word through the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. And shalom to the Aquat that's listening and learning. Today's video is going to be entitled, Jake Needs to Obey Authority. All right. It's going to be entitled, Jake Needs to Obey Authority. Now, I got inspired to do this lesson because a brother shared this video a while ago. And pretty much within this video, this pastor or this preacher right here is going to say that black people need to stop blaming white officers for certain situations as far as, you know, like death, getting locked up, so forth and so on. But you're going to hear him say that he understands what he's trying to say as far as Jake just needs to stop being so combative and stop being so tough and just pretty much just listen to what the police officer has to say and just submit to the situation. But at the same time, you're going to hear him saying he understands all of that. But at the same time, these white officers, they definitely become more aggressive when it comes to Jake. And we already know that's because of the curses, man. All right. We already know that's because of the curses and because Esau has a perpetual hatred towards us. All right. So at the end of the day, there's a balance with this thing. So I was like, well, let me go ahead and get into this lesson. So then, you know, we get some edification out of it, because at the end of the day, the scriptures tell you when it comes to the law, you're not supposed to get aggressive. You're not supposed to get to the point where you want to get your point across, so forth and so on. You're just supposed to agree with what they say and just move forward, man, because you're in captivity. You can't do anything. You can't change the situation and you're not in control of the situation. All right. But at the same time, we do understand that Esau is the damn devil. He's going to make sure that he keeps Jake down at all costs with the power that he has. All right. So let's go ahead and play a little bit of this video, because the video like damn near 7 minutes long. We're going to play like half of it and then we're going to grab the scriptures, man. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Things the black church gonna get mad at me for saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Man, y'all check this out.
I'm about to get everybody mad. Stop blaming white cops for the killing of black kids. Instead, teach your black children to be obedient towards authority. I don't care. I don't care. When I was 15 years old, I'm walking down Hollis in Queens, and an Italian cop drove right by me, and I locked eyes with the cop, and we stared at each other. He drove by. My ego and his ego. True story. He comes around the block, jumps out the car, grabs me, and smashes me up against a brick wall. Takes out his Glock and puts his Glock to the back of my head. No cameras, no iPhones, no social media, no recordings. He says to me, watch, say something. And in that moment, I hear the voice of my mom and my father. Son, obey authority. Son, or respect your elders. And in that moment, with that Glock pressed to my head, I got to make a decision. Either my ego is going to be strong, or my submission to authority is going to be stronger than my ego. If I let my ego in that moment be stronger than my mother's teachings to obey authority, then I'm hurled into eternity by a cop's bullet. Why? Because my ego was stronger than my submission. And I don't care if most of y'all are black. You need to teach your children to obey authority. We need to teach our sons and daughters to obey authority. We need to teach our children to not fight against authority, not fight against cops, not rebel. And you need to teach yourself, stop cheating on your taxes, stop bending your numbers. Watch, the Lord said, give back to Caesar what belongs to him. That is, be submitted to governmental authority.
This right here got my blood boiling. I'm talking about Lord, got my blood boiling. And I know what you gonna say in the comments. Y'all missing what he's saying. Y'all missing the point. Y'all missing the message. No, we ain't. No, we ain't missing the message. We heard loud and clear. Just like I get loud, he get real loud. We heard loud and clear what that man said. He said, stop blaming white police officers. Stop blaming them. Teach your kids. Y'all need to teach your kids how to submit. Stop blaming these white officers. That's what he said. See, the thing is this. Two things can be true at the same time. We can teach our children to submit, as we should. You're exactly right. And we can, and we have. I have two sons, and I've taught them how to deal with the police. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You do what they say. You do not get combative with them. That is the absolute truth. You're exactly right. You don't combat with them. No. The word is what? Compliance. Remember they used to throw that word out. Oh, if only they would have complied. If only they would have complied, they would not have got killed. If only they would have complied. So two things can be true at the same time. One, we can teach our children to submit and to comply. But two, that does not absolve the wrongdoing of a white officer. Check this out.
And they shot and killed this man. I'm going to say this again. 60% of the times when white officers encounter black people, they use excessive force, and they are twice as often to use their weapons. So they did in this case.
Yeah, see, that's me. That's me. Before this was me, before I started talking about the black church, oh, I was heavy into social injustice, partner. I was heavy into it. Oh, I did over about 400 videos. Over 400 videos of social injustice, Trump supporters turning vigilantes and Karens and white officers killing unarmed black men and women. Yeah. Talk to me about Tamir Rice. Talk to me about Walter Wallace Jr. Talk to me about Kurt Andreas Ride-Ho. Talk to me.
Yeah. So, like I said, we don't got to play this whole video. You can see where it's going. But, like I said, there's some truth when it comes to both sides, all right? And like I said, we're in captivity, so we understand that things are going to happen to Jake. And one of the main reasons things are going to happen to Jake is because this is going to be the judgment that they have to receive, man. All right, because that's one of the main things our people don't understand when it comes to death, when it comes to us getting locked up, so forth and so on. The Lord has this happen to us on purpose because of what we did in our past lives and what we've been doing right now. All right, Jake doesn't understand that, and that's why, the Lord put the Spirit upon us to bring out this truth, man, so then they can understand why these things are happening to us. So let's just go ahead and get into it. So as you heard him say, within the video, he was like, he understands what the pastor right here was saying, and these preachers be having weird ass spirits, man. These preachers be having weird ass spirits. You saw how the way he was moving and talking in that video. But anyway, you heard him say that we need to be more submissive when it comes to authority and stop being so combative, so forth and so on and everything like that. And that's true, because like I said, you don't have any power here. Jake doesn't have any power. They don't rule anything. They don't have the weapons. They don't have the money. They don't have the technology. None of that. All right. So when they get into situations, they just need to go ahead and just allow whatever it is that's getting ready to happen and just say, fuck it, man. That's something that a lot of people don't want to hear. But what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And that's why we always just say, just stay out of trouble if you can, man. But we already know the Lord can have situations happen, even if you try to stay out of trouble. It is what it is. But at the same time, we're not gonna deny the fact that Esau is out here doing Jake dirty. We're not gonna deny that fact. You heard him say what the other dude say within the video, that when it comes to cops, they would literally be more aggressive toward Jake and use their weapons 2 or 3 times more than they would with other nations. And that's just the truth, man. That's just because they have that perpetual hatred toward us. And then he got the hat on right here saying end racism. That shit ain't never gonna end, man. It ain't never gonna end. It's here for life. The Lord is a racist, and that's a lot of things that a lot of people don't want to accept either. The Lord is racist. And you can see it right here. Let's get this real quick before I begin. Get the first verse that I had, man. Get Malachi chapter 1. This is Malachi 1:1. It says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, said the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Said the Lord, yet I loved Jacob. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return to build the desolate places. Thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. What's indignation? It's righteous anger, man. Righteous anger. Not that anger that Esau has toward us just because. Esau every time he sees Jake, he just want to shed just shed blood right off the rip. So it says right here that the Lord, he hates Esau. Who is that today? That is the so-called white man. All right. He hates those people. That's a racist thing, man. Because when you when it comes to racism, ain't that what it is? A hatred towards another people? And that's exactly what the Lord has, man. He has a perpetual hatred toward Esau. Point blank, period. So that's one thing that you got to understand when it comes to the Lord. The Lord doesn't care about them, man. He's just having them in rulership right now just so he can have them play out this captivity for us. But they getting ready to be taken out of rulership, man. All of these things that's going on in the world right now with World War III building up, inflation going up, these tariffs happening, people losing their jobs, so forth and so on. They starting to realize exactly who Esau is, man. Let's get this. We're going to get Psalms 38, starting at verse 15. It says, "For in thee, O Lord, do I hope, thou will hear, O my Lord, power. For I said, hear me, lest otherwise they should rejoice over me. When my foot slippeth, they magnify themselves against me. For I am ready to halt, and my sorrow is continually before me." Yeah, all the time. As long as we live in here, our sorrow is continually before our eyes, man. "For I will declare my iniquity. I will be sorry for my sin, as we should. But my enemies are lively, and they are strong. And they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied." That's exactly what they do. They hate us wrongfully. So like I said, there's truth on both sides. Yes, Jake needs to understand authority and submit to the law and stop being the so-called tough guy, going out there and filming it and acting like this is going to bring justice. It's not going to bring justice, man. You got to understand that you're going against the people who actually owns the law, who makes up the law, who makes sure that this world revolves around what they say and do. You're not going to do nothing just because you pulled out your iPhone and you want to record a video and you feel like that's going to go viral enough to the point where people are going to start making a difference. That shit ain't going to work, man. That shit ain't going to work. Esau still going to lock you up. He's still going to kill you or do whatever it is that he wants to do, man, because he has the authority to do it. The Lord is allowing him to do it. But like it says right here, it says, "But my enemies are lively and they are strong." Yeah, they're the authority. They own everything. They have everything. "And they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied." Just like you heard in the video, right? When you fast forward to this part, right, you saw what it said.
I was forced, and they are.
Saw what it said right here. "Cops shoot and kill black homeless man accused of jaywalking." Here it is. Jake was just trying to cross the street, and Esau was like, "Oh, snap. I'm going to take this to my own hands." And now he literally lost his life just because of jaywalking, man. Jaywalking. That's, jaywalking is a thing where you should just be like, man, here's a citation or a warning, don't do it again type shit. It should just be thrown out the window, man. That's not even a big of a deal. But like it says right here, though, what it say? It says, "But my enemies are lively." Esau is ready, man. But he sees Jake, his eyes open wide. "And they are strong, and they that hate me wrongfully are multiplied." These cops are everywhere, and it's not even the cops. All right. You got these groups that's forming right now that's getting ready for Jacob's trouble. They training, going to the gym, learning how to shoot, learning how to fight, so forth and so on, man. You got these what they call them, the towns. Damn, not the South towns. You know what I'm trying to say. If you know what I'm trying to say, you can leave it in the comments. The country dude that made the song. If you come to these certain towns, damn, it's at the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it. But you know what I'm trying to say. When you go to these certain cities or whatever, and Esau is ready, man. The police is behind it. They be like, okay, they coming into our town. We gonna make sure that we get them. They not gonna leave and go back home ever again. So yeah, they hate us wrongfully, and they are multiplied, man. It says, "They also that render evil for good are my adversaries, because I follow the thing that good is." And we already know this is what we're going to go through for following the good thing, which is this Bible, man. Following the law, following Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. They're going to try to come after us because we follow what is good. And what is good is this gospel. All right, because we believe in it. And they're going to come after us for believing in it, because they already know that this is the truth. And they know that they're going down, man. All right. It says, "Forsake me not, O Lord, O my power, be not far from me. Make haste to help me, O Lord, my salvation." And that's what we praying for every day, man. Every day. Every day we praying for salvation. We praying that the Lord keeps us in his eye, so then that way we can be protected today and during Jacob's trouble, man. All right, so like it says right here, we already know that this is how Esau gets down. He hates us wrongfully, right? But at the same time, certain situations, Jake can get out of it if he just do what the Lord said to do. And this is what it says right here, Matthew chapter 5, verse 22. It says, but I say unto you, sundown towns. There you go. Sundown towns. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Sundown towns. But anyway, this is Matthew chapter 5, verse 22. It says, but I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And we already know this is what Esau does to us every day. So he is in danger of judgment that's getting ready to happen to him. And that's why he's seeing his place crumble right now. And it says, and whosoever shall say to his brother Rachaa shall be in danger of the council, but whosoever shall say that thou fool shall be in danger of hellfire. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother have aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. And here's the point right here. It says, agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. The Lord said, agree with thine adversary quickly. When you get pulled over, don't be trying to hurry up and pull out your phone and do this and do that, so forth to someone, man. Like I said, it's not going to make a difference. How many videos out there it is of Jake pulling out their phone when they get pulled over? They see the cop getting aggressive and everything like that. How many people went live, and how many differences has it made in the process, man? All of these videos, you know, you see it on TikTok, you see it on YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is. You see all of these videos of Jake pulling out their phones and they trying to get something out of this situation. But where has it gotten them, man? It's the same scenario over and over and over and over again, man. Jake is still at the bottom. Jake is still, you know, going through these situations and not getting out of them. So the Lord said, do what? Agree with thine adversary quickly while thou art in the way with him. All right. If the police pull you over, see what they got to say. They trying to give you a ticket or something like that. Just accept it, man. Don't be trying to be like, yeah, I'm going to go to court. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Look how they doing me, man. I wasn't even speeding. I was literally following the speed limit. He doing this because I'm black. Don't be doing that shit, man. Just go out there, agree with the officer, and keep it moving, man. It'll help you out in the long run. And then, of course, like I said, the majority of the time, you got to stay out of trouble. Jake loves to go out in the street and be intoxicated during the daytime. Jake will literally roll up some weed, smoking outside. Now that it's legal, Jake will be flaming up outside. They'll be drinking and shit during the daytime and everything, going outside, doing all kind of shit, getting themselves into situations that they don't even need to be in, you know, because they just out here wilding out, partying. They got that spirit of feasting upon them, man. That's all they want to do. So at the end of the day, if you would just stay out of trouble, majority of the time, a lot of these things wouldn't even happen to you, man. Just stay out the way. That's like the brothers be saying, just be boring like us, man. Just go to work, make your money, go home. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong, you know, with chilling with somebody every now and then, you know, going out, doing what you want to do, you know, once, you know, just to relax or whatever. But you shouldn't be out there just wilding, man. Jay goes out there and they be wilding. And that's why they always getting into trouble. But anyway, it says, agree with thine adversary quickly whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Whatever they say, just go along with it, man. Just go along with it, because like I said, you're not going to get out of the situation anyway. All right? It's called authority for a reason. They rule over you right now. They literally have the authority to do whatever they want to do to you. And there's nothing that you can do about it, man, because we're not in power. When the Lord comes back, everything is going to change. This is Colossians chapter 3. We're going to start at verse 1. And as you can see with the caption, it says, put on the new self. It says, if you then be risen with Yahushua HaMashiach, seek those things which are above, where Yahushua sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. So we singing the things that are of our Lord and our power. All right. It says, set your affection on those things above, not on the things on the earth. Every time you get into a situation, you think about what would the Lord would do. You think about your forefathers that was in this truth. All right. You think about what other brothers would do, because you renew within the spirit. You're not thinking about what you would do if you were in the world, because we're not in the world, man. Verse 3, it says, for you are dead and your life is hid with Yahushua in the Most High. When Yahushua, who is our life, shall appear, then shall you also appear with him in glory. Mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience, in the which ye also walked sometime when ye lived in them. It says when ye lived in them. Why? Because we used to be in the world and we used to have these members upon us. All right. It says, but now ye also put off all these. What's the first word right here? Anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. It says, put off now all of these things. The first thing that Jake does when it comes to authority is they get angry, man. And everybody always say, do not control or escalate the situation when you're angry. When you're angry, you have no control over your emotions anymore, man, because now you're just going off instinct. You're not thinking clearly. That's why when they say you get into an argument with your woman or everything like that, technically, you're supposed to just be quiet and just walk out. You're supposed to be quiet, walk out, and then get some air, breathe, so you could think clearly. All right. And it's the same thing when you get into any situation. When you see yourself becoming angry, get up, calm down, leave it alone, man. Especially when you get into it with the officers. When you get into it, these cops out here, man, you're not supposed to let anger take over. You got to remember, why would you get angry when you're standing in front of somebody who has a damn gun? They got a badge. They got these radios. They got these cars. They got backup and everything. And Jake feel like they going to be on some set it off shit. They feel like they going to get out of the situation and everything like that and just go home like ain't nothing happened. Come on, man. Come on, man. It says, but now ye also put off all these things. Put it off, man. Put off that anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that you have put off the old man with his deeds. What is the old man? The man that you used to be when you weren't in the world before you came into this truth. And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him, where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, Salakia, hopefully I got that right, bond nor free, but Yahushua is all and in all. Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy, which means separated from this world, and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long suffering, forbearing one another and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Yahushua forgave you, so also do ye. All right. So you're supposed to be renewed in the knowledge after the image of Yahushua. And what did Yahushua say in the last scripture we read in Matthew 5? He said, agree with thine adversaries quickly. So when the Lord says something, you're supposed to immediately just be like, okay, this is what the Lord said do. If I get into this situation, he said, agree with them quickly. Don't even get angry. Don't be trying to do the most. Just, hey, whatever they say, let them do what they got to do so I can hurry up and get on my day. That's it. That's it. And then, of course, first and foremost, you always pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Whenever you get into any situation, first thing you do is call upon the names. As soon as you call upon the names, ask for help. The Lord is going to be there, man. You got to have faith. You got to have faith. All right. He's going to allow certain things to happen, but in due time, he'll get you out of it. That's why the scriptures say things were written aforetime for our learning. We see that a lot of our forefathers went through things and things didn't always just happen right off the rip. The Lord allows certain people to get locked up, so forth and so on. But then afterwards, what happened? He would get them out the situation and they'll be all good. The same thing is going to happen with us in these days too. So like I said, as long as you stay out of trouble and do what you're supposed to do, more than likely you don't even have to worry about this. But you just got to remember to put on the new man and stay away from that old person that you used to be. So let's get one last scripture and close it out, because at the end of the day as well, Esau is still, like we always say, he is the devil, man. And he's wrong. Because yeah, the majority of the time, Jake would comply, Jake would submit and do what he's supposed to do, but Jake would still be taken out of the way just because of the hatred that Esau has toward us. And this is exactly what's going to happen toward them, to them, because of that. This is Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord power Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. So there it is. The hatred that he had towards us, the Most High is going to make sure it comes back toward him, man. Bloodshed is going to happen to Esau, man. It is going to happen. We seeing it happening right now, man. And when the Lord returns, it's going to be something serious, because they did have a perpetual hatred toward us. So like I said, it's a thing to it, man. Like I said, Jake does need to obey authority when it comes down to it, but at the same time, Esau, he's going to do what he's going to do at the end of the day as well, man. All right. This is why it's very important to know the Lord right now, man. Because the thing is, a lot of Jake, when they get into these situations, they don't know the Lord. They would still call on Jesus. They would still try to be a tough guy. They would do all the wrong things except for just leaning toward the Lord, man. And that's the main point. But like I said, we already know that Esau's going to do what he want to do anyway, just for the simple fact that he's in rulership, man. And he wants to take Jake out of the way. You want to take Jake out of the way. So like I said, there's some truth on both sides. All right. Jake does need to submit to authority, but at the same time, Esau is out there being the devil. And it is what it is, man. So like I said, just try to stay out of trouble. Pray to the Most High. Agree with thy adversaries quickly. And, pray that Esau gets his, man. This is what we waiting for. We waiting for Esau to go down. What the scriptures say, happy shall we be to see the downfall of our enemies. This is what we waiting for, man, because we already know that they doing us wrong out here. We already know what's going down. But at the end of the day, we got to wait on the Lord, man. So like I said, just try to stay out of trouble. But Esau, he's not getting out of this, man. He's not going to get out of it. Point blank, period. So I hope this is edifying. So with that, I'm going to say, call Halayim Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of the great millstones to learn this truth from. Honors to the elders and brothers out there pushing this word through the four corners of the earth within truth and sincerity. It's shalom to the Akwat that's listening and learning. And Yahweh Ratazan, I'll be back with another lesson. Keep pushing, Yasharada. Keep pushing. We almost out of here. Shalom.